Back here, first things first, Coach Mangini. Eric Mangini joins the show. Hey, Coach.
How are you?
Lot to talk about today. Quite a game last night. You probably watched it.
There was a game last night?
That's exactly the answer I was looking for. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in L.A. taking on the Rams in the game that actually did live up to its hype in a big way. Let's pick this up in the fourth. Rams up 40-30. Mahomes hits Tyreek Hill for the 73-yard touchdown pass. Tyreek's second of the day. Chiefs within 3. Chiefs would score a defensive touchdown, but the Rams would retake the lead with the Jared Goff to Gerald Everett TD. 47-44 Rams. Less than 3 minutes to go. Mahomes finds Chris Conley, and that gives KC the lead, but Goff would respond again. Gerald Everett again, 40 yards. Rams lead 54-51. Mahomes now trying to mount the comeback. Escapes, looks, and throws the interception to LaMarcus Joyner. One of Mahomes' 5 turnovers on the night. Rams escape 54-51, your final. 105 points, over 1,000 yards of offense. The Rams now 10-1. Here's their quarterback, Jared Goff, on their big win.
It was a crazy game. Crazy game, and it seemed like at the end, whoever had the ball last was going to win. That's what it felt like, and ultimately our defense had 2 turnovers there at the end that proved to be the winning turnovers, and it was back and forth the whole game. It was times where we felt like we had all the momentum. We thought we were going to put the knife in them and finish it, and then there was times where it was the other way around, where we're like, all right, we need to kind of claw back into this, and it was a fun one.
It's the same as when we played New England. I mean, it's just you can't make mistakes against great teams, and when you play these games, I mean, these are the games that you're going to play, hopefully, in the playoffs. And so you want to make sure that you limit your mistakes, but still at the same time be aggressive and still score points.
It was a whirlwind. I feel like, I might need a couple beverages to relax tonight. But it was great. I mean, this is what you love so much about this game. And really what's the best part about it is that locker room, sharing that with the people that you love, the players, the coaches, this organization. But it was a great matchup, but it was just one game. And there's a lot of football left. We got to do a great job making sure that we respond. We get ourselves healthy as possible, and we're refreshed and ready to go when we play the Lions coming back from the bye.
Coach, it's not often a game that we match up on paper turns into the game on the field. This was a doozy. How impressive was last night's offensive explosion in the Rams' big win?
Well, it was fun to watch, and it was fun to watch for a lot of reasons, and not just what we saw offensively, but also when you put the ball in the air that many times, what happens defensively, and you're putting those quarterbacks at risk over and over again, and you have the turnovers for points, the multiple turnovers for points. So I thought there was going to be a little bit more running in the game. I thought that they were going to incorporate some of that at some point during the course of the game. They sprinkled it in here and there, and I think at some point these teams, when they play games like this, are going to have to do that, because the best way to prevent the other team from scoring is to keep them off the field. And you've got 2 incredibly talented backs that became afterthoughts as the game went on, which I was most surprised about.
Coach, I thought this game was almost the test study, the case study for what football in 2018 can be. Like, with all the rule changes, with all of everything slanting towards the offense, and with the embrace of some college concepts, you're seeing teams that defensively, it's not about the yards you can prevent. It's not necessarily even about forcing 3 and outs. It's about, can you make splash plays? Can you, while the other team's going to move up and down the field, can you either stop them in the red zone, or can you score on defense or force turnovers on defense? I feel like, as a defensive-minded coach, if you were dropped in to this setting, even though it's not like you coached decades ago, it's just a few years ago, you would have to change some of the philosophies as far as what you emphasize.
You wouldn't have to change when the guy gets to the top of the route, don't grab him. Because that's what we've been teaching forever. Like, their techniques are poor. Yeah, we know that the rules and stuff, but their technique, that's just poor coaching. There's a lot of bad coaching, how you're going to stop a passing attack, too. So I think, Coach, let me jump in there before. I think Coach would be like, I think I can coach the technique that would, it goes through any time. It's not the rules. Like, I mean, they play a lot of bad technique that leads to these big numbers, too, Coach.
Yeah, there's multiple penalties.